welcome to Tech Talk here at the Canadian Grand Prix. We are sheltering from the rain in Montreal, perched just inside the FIA garage. And as ever, our resident technical expert, the science teacher you wished you had at school, Albert Fabrega, joins me now.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good.
Staying dry?
Wet, but yeah.
Just about.
Yes, okay.
Well, today we are delving into car design. Now, in 2022, the FIA and Formula One wants to reduce the negative effect of the leading car's wake. And they had a picture in mind as well of how they wanted that car to look. The regulations that came in are there to guide the teams to that aesthetic. But saying all of that, Albert, and as ever, you come with a surprise for me. I have no idea what all of these building blocks mean.
A lot of blocks. So can we build the puzzle?
Let's
because
build the puzzle.
The regulations have changed a lot in 2022, but also some other things. The way that the regulations are presented to the teams, or how the teams work from the regulations, are massively different. It's a 2.0 already regulations. Now the technical regulations defines the car in blocks. Every single legality box has its own rules inside. It defines the elements you can have, for example, in a front wing. Before, within the maximum measures you have for a front wing, you can build whatever you want. Now, for example, you can build only 4 elements. But any single element that is defined here in different boxes and different colors, depending different colors. So you can see that it's like a puzzle, huh?
Literally building a Formula One car.
You want to help me?
Okay, I might get some of this wrong.
I'll leave you the fences.
Okay,
This is
the fences. And these,
the dashboard area and the fences
where
that
are we going
was
here? Here?
a little bit like this. Yeah, you see the
There we
points?
go,
Yeah,
in
okay.
here, yeah.
More simple as well on this area of regulations.
So how to do back to front, upside down? We got it in?
Yeah,
there we go.
That's it.
The fences are on.
So, you see? Or for example, the mirror. The mirrors and their supports is also limited and defined by boxes. Within this box, the teams have to fit the mirror that it meets here. Every single thing. For example, this volume defines the area where the teams can put open areas to evacuate the heat of the engine on the side ports. Engine cover, for example. You see the fin on the top, also defined here. There's no more freedom for special things. Yeah. And the rear wing.
The rear wing.
Yes, that is more simple than you remember how it was on the old times. Yeah. So we should have here all the volumes of the car. We're missing the ones that goes on the area where the front and the front and the rear wheel on the brake ducts. But pretty much what we have here is different volumes. Every volume has his own file, has its own name. So when we put it all together, we have this. Even down, you want to see what's going on down?
Yes.
Down there? I will try to do not break it, but
cannot believe
break it.
built
You
this
see
and brought
that
it
we
along.
also have some pieces defining every single part of the volumes that is going on
the floor of the
under
car,
the car.
as well.
Yeah, very important place.
Yes, absolutely.
Like the floor edge. Yeah, you can see the floor edge where they can do that cuts and that thing.
And so each of these volumes have to be legal, the legal dimensions, and the FIA need to obviously then measure that, don't they?
Yes, and it's a 2.0 procedure now. Before was more physics, more mechanic. We are in the FIA garage where they scrutinize the cars. So when FIA wanted to check that the cars completes the legality set by the regulations, they bring the car here, they set the car, they put the car on the floor, so they hit a zero, and they measure the car, literally. With tools, they measure the car. Is in the limits that is defined for the regulation? Yes. But now has changed a lot, because now we have a control that is done by a scan.
Okay.
But CAD files, CAD files. So every single car has his own ID, let's say. There is 4 points on every single chassis that define the zero of the car. And then the teams used to do it with a scan like this. Every single team has a scan like this. And what they do is to scan the surface of the car with the points that measure certain measures within the chassis. That is the ADN. And from that point, they scan the things and they do something like that.
I saw this being used in testing actually this year. I saw it out in various garages.
It's very used to see this kind of scans in front of the garages on Thursdays. Yes. So the teams used to scan the cars to see that everything is legally. What they do, they scan the car, something like that, a 3D scan. Okay. It's not like complete like that. They do it in different ways, but they scan the car like that. They send it to FIA. FIA is using FIA and teams, of course. They having the volumes what we have
As
here.
you have here, yes.
And what they do, very easy, they put the scan of the car over the volumes. Is every single measure is within
And checks.
the volumes,
Yeah, that's
checks,
all legally.
that's legally. So it's another way to scrutineer the cars, more complex, more difficult more technology, but more precise, and is opening a new step on the scrutineering for the future. And I would say one thing that is important, because if we put all the volumes in every single car, would not match. So
Okay.
depending on how the chassis is made, if you have a wider chassis or if you have a longer chassis, then the volumes move accordingly. So maybe if we have the scan of the Mercedes will not match with the scan of the Red Bull. It would be a little bit different, but individually the volumes must be there.
So it depends on the philosophy they're following for the
Exactly.
season, the
The
direction
ADN of
the
every car
cars-
is different.
And of course,
on
as
this.
cars will change throughout the season. We're hearing
Yes.
that cars, Mercedes, for example, are moving in a slightly different direction as much as their current car design allows them to, as much as the cost cap allows them to. And I guess from there, the different volumes will also begin to shift as well in terms of their
And now
size.
it's
and measurement.
easier because now the teams, when they develop a new part, it's an option, but most of them are doing like this, though they send the file to FIA, FIA check with the volumes, that is legal, and they say that the teams is okay. And they store all the CAD files in encrypted?
Encrypted, yeah,
Encrypted,
secret,
in
private.
secret files where
Wow.
the FIA can check every single car, and when they scrutineer the car here, if they scan the car, it must match with the files that have stored when the team sent to them.
So it's not just the work done in the factories for the teams, the
Yes.
upgrades that are created there, and it's the hours poured over them there. They then have to check that all of that hard work is actually legal
Yep.
as well.
Exactly, and it's a more scientific way to do it. It is a more precise way to do it, and I think it's good because it's opening a new path on the future on the scrutineering, more precise, more, let's say, exactly for the teams and for the FIA, of course.
Great stuff. Thank you
Yeah.
very much indeed, Albert. As ever, a hands-on tech talk, literally building the blocks of a Formula One car. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
and we'll
We
see
still
you for
can-
another tech talk in Austria.
Yeah, if we can come back at home with this, not easy.